Chad Shannon Strength. All right, this is week number 6, lower body day number 1, my squat day. And again, I'm focusing on a max deadlift for the next two upcoming contests, so I'm not really worried about my back squat or my depth or kind of doing a safety squat to a box and just focusing on my leg drive, trying to get my feet same width and placement. It's still a little bit wider than my deadlift stance, not by a lot. It's just a Rogue safety bar. It weighs 70 pounds. Just a warm up set of 10. Everything felt a lot better this week. Last week, I think my top set was 320 for 5. I did like a 5x5 from starting like 290 up to 320. I did 5 sets in that neighborhood. This week, I just kind of did like a bro jump, what I typically would do on a regular squat day, just add a plate. Did a set of 8. So let's be 160. Again, I'm using like the mid height of the box. I think it's 16 inches. I think it boxes like 12, 16, and 20. I think is the dimensions of it. Again, I'm not too worried about depth. I just want to be a little bit lower than where I would probably actually initiate some leg drive on a deadlift. Again, add another plate, went to 250, set of 6. This is kind of a standard pyramid progression I do on warm ups. Same thing on my deadlifts. I do the same kind of thing. Do a 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 3 in that neighborhood scheme until I get to my work weight. Again, everything's feeling pretty good. Good bar speed. Pretty happy with that. And then I go ahead and jump on up to 3 plates, which would be 340 pounds, which is 20 pounds heavier than what I did last week. And I do a 5x5 here. And I just kind of get the first set and the last set, and they look about the same, honestly, which is good. I mean, for that kind of volume, 340 pounds. I added the belt here because it's kind of almost like a front squat. It puts a little more strain on your low back than a back squat typically does for me. I can back squat mid fours, no belt, no problem. But on these, they keep me more upright, which I like to stay more upright during my deadlifts. Instead of rounded over. And again, I'm just trying to work on leg drive, pushing through the floor, pushing through my heels. Pretty good opening set there. And I rested 3 to 5 minutes between each set. Most about 3 typically. I'm impatient, and it wasn't struggling. I was recovering pretty well between sets. I did feel a pretty good quad burn after these though. That's a fact. And again, I'm trying to get that foot placement as narrow as I can. I'm kind of a wider squatter than I am a deadlifter, which is probably typical. But I am a wider deadlifter than I ever used to be. Actually, I used to be very narrow squat and deadlift. But over time, I've kind of widened up and learned to use my hips. That last rep kind of got a little off balance there. I kind of bounced it in home there. But hey, not bad for a 5x5 and 20 pounds heavier than last week. And doing all sets at that weight too. Now, I didn't do this last week, so I worked in the pendulum squat. A buddy of mine at the gym kind of turned me on to it a couple months ago, before my injury and everything, before my accident. And I was using it before. I kind of like the arc of it. It's hard to say what the weight really is. That's just the plates I added. I added 90 pounds of plates, 180 pounds of plates, 270, and so on up to 450 pounds of plates. Is that really 450 pounds? Probably not. It's probably mid threes, I would say, on the legs, if I had to guess. So probably about like the safety squat. And then I just kind of, same as last week, just finished off with some leg press. Nothing insane. Just sets of five, working way up to my top set. Again, I've been told that sled empty weighs about 120. So I'm going basing these numbers off of that and adding a plate on each side. So I'm hoping, I'm going to be curious to see what doing all this sub max work does for my deadlift come the day of the contest when I actually get to pull heavy weight. I am going to creep up. I'll probably get to a 2x2, you know, a couple weeks before the max deadlift event, just to see, you know, get a little heavier in. But again, I'm just going to be doing accessory work, sub max work, snatch, grip, deadlifts, leg presses, box squats, and we'll see what we get. Peace out.